Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. Hunt continues for gunman in fatal shooting of UnitedHealthcare CEO in New York while he was visiting for a conference. What is New York City coming to? I would have never dreamed or phantomed that they would have an assassination of that kind of a United Healthcare CEO in New York of that nature in Midtown. I could see Harlem, Baisley, Brownsville, Cal City, but we talking about a healthcare CEO, and we talking about Midtown. That's like that happening on South Beach. That's like how serious they took it with the FBD duck joint that happened down in the Gold Coast area. Those type of things don't happen. But now you're allowed to wear masks. It's easy to get away with crimes. But now they have cameras that pinpoint you and walk you and walk you and walk you until you remove that mask for that split second because you're sweating. But let's get this intro started. Cop my man Lou Sims' book. Make sure you hit the icon when you send the Cash App. Unique Mecca Hall. It's coming up. That's my Instagram. That's the Cash App. This is my man's QR code. You know this Unique Mecca audio, man. We had a blazing incident happen in Midtown Manhattan. This is the richest city in the world. Supposed to be the most protected city in the world, but yet Brian Thompson lost his life. Just walking down the street. Figure, I don't need no bodyguards. I'm in New York. The NYPD got this. And he's walking, you're gonna see freeze frames and everything of where the gunman was right behind him and how he casually walked away as he's trying to unjam the gun. What type of civilization are we coming to when this type of thing happened? In the richest city and supposed to be the most protected city in the world. Let's go to this joint right now. Now, let's listen to this. Let me get out your way.
Right now, hunting a killer. Tonight, in a city full of security cameras, investigators use multiple videos to try to piece together the path of the man they say gunned down a CEO in the heart of Midtown. Good evening. I'm Maurice Dubois.
And I'm Christine Johnson. More than 16 hours after the gunman shot and killed UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson, the NYPD is tracing the suspect's movements through Manhattan. New video obtained by CBS News shows him leaving Central Park on the Upper West Side riding a bike just before 7 this morning.
Police say that was after security cameras showed him at a Starbucks in Midtown wearing all black and a distinctive backpack.
But it's still unclear why the gunman targeted Thompson in the first place.
Didn't they say that he was light-skinned? Did he look light-skinned or white to you? You know, I mean, somebody tell me, man. Let me put it back to his hand so we can see. Did he look light-skinned to you? Let me put it even on the big screen, because maybe I'm missing something here. You know, let me even get out the way right here. Does that look like a light-skinned man? Look at his wrist. All white man. Not saying it is, not saying it isn't. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. Let's bring this back. Let's go back here. And let's play this video back where we left off and go.
Thompson in the first place. Right now, police are combing electronics to find out if there were any threats against him. We have team coverage here for you tonight. Dick Brennan has more on the victim. Let's begin with Allie Bauman, live at the scene where it all happened. Allie?
Christina Maurice, the NYPD is all hands on deck for this manhunt, scouring surveillance cameras to trace the suspect and combing through the victim's phone and social media to see if he received any personal threats. But the two big questions that remain tonight are: why did this gunman target the victim, and where is the gunman now?
Person possibly shot in front of the Hilton Hotel.
Surveillance video captures the moment a masked man pulls a gun with a silencer on UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson Wednesday morning just after.
Look at this. This is New York City, y'all. I just want y'all to see what New York City turned to. Be careful when you out there. That's all I'm going to say. Be careful. Look how casually he's walking to his death. God, please help us.
6:45. We're freezing the video before he shoots the 50-year-old father of two. As Thompson bleeds on the sidewalk, the gunman can be seen trying to unjam his gun before shooting again, then calmly walking across the street as he picks up his pace. One witness snapped this photo after hearing the gunshots.
So I was holding my phone, then I heard the shot. And when I looked at the guy was with the gun, like the silent gun.
Thompson.
Can you believe that this man is on open TV saying, I shot the video of you. Come get me if you dare. That's what we hear on the street, just speaking from a street perspective. But y'all watching this, figure he's doing a good Samaritan job. He's letting you know what he did to be a good Samaritan. But what about what the gunman is thinking? Oh, he's a witness. All the government have to do, and the feds, because the feds is going to get involved. All they have to do is get him to simply say that he saw my face before I walked past him where he caught the shot. And he could pick out anybody that fit that description, and 30 years from now, we find out that it was an innocent man that was framed. Welcome to the Central Park situation with those young men. All it takes is one person to go up there on the stand. That same man that saw that, if they persuade him to say he was walking up and I looked dead in his face, and as soon as he passed me, I took this picture of his back, but they never saw his face, but they said they seen his face because they needed him to say he seen his face, and he needed that lousy $10,000 reward. Up the reward, New York. Y'all getting too much money. We paying $18 to go over the George Washington Bridge. We paying $30-something to go over the Lincoln and the Holland Tunnel. Could you imagine $30-something to go into a section of the New York? And then now look what they do, right? They say, oh man, if they get 30-something to go into downtown New York, then and they only paying $18 to go in uptown New York, where the Dominicans, the minorities is at, not as much business, not as much money as downtown, where we're charging them $32, $34 to come in. Double the money to come in. If they getting that down there, then we got to be able to get a piece of that too. So the way they came up with that is, they said, now if you come in through the George Washington Bridge side, save $16 by not going through the Holland and Lincoln Tunnel. Now when you're trying to cut across to go down to the Holland Lincoln Tunnel, you still got to pay that $16. So either way, the bridge is $30-something to go down to where the money's at. If y'all didn't understand them jewels, follow me on Instagram, Unique Mecca Audio, Cash App on the screen. Make sure you hit the icon and say it was created in 2020. Did I just break down what's going on to you or what? They snuck and raised the price at the Holland Tunnel, Lincoln Tunnel that was taken downtown to the Diamond District, Wall Street, and everything else. So they kept the price the same uptown, where we got to go across the minorities that can't really afford it. They know we would have rolled like hell, we would have shut the bridge down, is the way they allegedly thinking. So instead of them doing that, they charged the people going down there to the Wall Street Diamond District because they know they can afford to pay the $32. They're going to cry like a little banshee, but they're not going to get out their car and protest in the cold or the heat. So they ain't got to worry about the Midtown side. But now when you talk about the people that come over here that's coming to buy the drugs, you know what I mean? Coming to buy the cheap gear from Fordham Road, 125th Street, Simpson Road, and everywhere else. When they coming over and they got to pay $18, And now you tell them they got to pay another $16. And they're like, yo, but that tap into my half a grand I was going to get. You see what I'm saying? So they would have paid. They wouldn't have went for it. So they had it done downtown. That worked. So then now, governor says, if downtown could get 32, we could get 32. So we're going to raise the price. So anybody going from uptown past 60th Street. So to go in our poor neighborhoods, it's only $18. But if you want to cross over into their neighborhood, the business district, the garment district, Wall Street, you got to pay $16 from up there. So the average poor person is going to stop going down there. So that's how they sold the bill, by saying that, yo, we can stop the blacks and minorities from coming down here to Midtown, driving in their cars, driving reckless, taking up space, taking up parking, being disrespectful to the moneymakers, feeling uncomfortable around the moneymakers. And we just charge them $16 to even come around us. So they charging an average New Yorker that lived there, that's driving. Now, you got New York plates and you drive to Midtown. And they still charge you $16 to go down there in the business and fashion and garment and Wall Street and Diamond District. You know what I mean? I said enough. If y'all don't understand it by that, I don't know what to tell you, man. Let me get back to this brother here.
Thompson was in town from Minnesota for a UnitedHealthcare conference at the Hilton Hotel in Midtown Manhattan, where he was scheduled to address investors.
Every indication is that this was a premeditated, pre-planned, targeted attack. Many people passed the suspect, but he appeared to wait for his intended target.
From the Hilton, investigators believe the suspect hopped on a bike and rode to Central Park. CBS News has obtained this surveillance video, which sources say appears to show the suspect cycling out of the park on West 85th Street just before 7 a.m., about 15 minutes after the shooting.
What we're looking at is a gunman who was thoughtful and prepared, staked out the scene, began by shooting the person in the back.
Former NYPD Deputy Commissioner Rich Esposito says the gunman may have planned carefully, but not perfectly.
It's not perfect preparation in that there's evidence left in the form of shell casings. There's evidence left from prior to the shooting.
Police say the suspect went to a nearby Starbucks minutes before the shooting. Sources tell CBS News surveillance images here may have captured enough of the suspect's face to run it through facial recognition programs. Police sources also tell us investigators are running forensic tests on a water bottle and candy bar wrapper they believe he left there, as well as on a discarded cell phone found near the scene.
The full investigative efforts of the New York City Police Department are well underway, and we will not rest until we identify and apprehend the shooter in this case.
Now, the NYPD is working with authorities in Minnesota, where the victim is from, to dig deeper into any specific threats against him. And police sources tell CBS News that detectives have uncovered rantings against Big Pharma directed at UnitedHealthcare, but no threats to Thompson's personal safety specifically. We're live in Midtown Manhattan. Allie Bauman, CBS News, New York.
Thank you, Allie.
So more about the victim now. Brian Thompson was the father of two. He worked at UnitedHealthcare for 2 decades, leading its insurance division for 3 years.
Today, flags were lowered to half staff outside the company's headquarters in his honor. Dick Brennan here in studio now with more on how he's being remembered. Dick.
Christina Maurice, Brian Thompson led one of the biggest health insurers in the nation that provides health coverage to more than 49 million Americans. But tonight, after this awful shooting, his family is in mourning. UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson was married with 2 sons, and tonight his wife Paulette spoke of the family's great loss.
Brian was a wonderful person with a big heart and who lived life to the fullest. He will be greatly missed by everybody. Our hearts are broken and we are completely devastated by this news. He touched so many lives.
The 50-year-old Thompson lived in Minnesota, where the company is based, but he was in New York for the company's annual investor day.
The company is just distraught, and his colleagues are distraught.
Top executives quickly canceled the shareholder meeting.
We're
dealing with a very serious medical situation with one of our team members. And as a result, I'm afraid we're going to have to bring to a close the event today, which I apologize for. I'm sure you'll understand.
Now investigators will probe every aspect of Thompson's life to try to find a motive.
They're going to look at the business end. You have a company that's laid people off. They're going to look at the personal stories. And they're going to focus on letters, desperate people who were denied care or tests or something that could have saved a life who blame the company.
Police sources say there were no known threats against Thompson, and security experts say not all high-level executives want to bother with a circle of protection.
And they think it's a violation of their privacy, and they think that it's a little pretentious. It draws attention to them, and basically they think, well, who would want to hurt me?
Thompson's death has sent shockwaves through the health industry.
I remember seeing the news at first, and I was just shocked. And then when I scrolled to see it was him, I just couldn't believe it. I still am processing.
Stephen Parente, a senior White House economist during COVID, worked with Thompson to keep hospitals open.
He helped so many people. I mean, there's family that know him and talked about him just wonderfully. But I mean, the impact that he had was, in the millions.
Now, security experts say the amount of cameras in the Midtown area will likely yield more photos of the suspect, and the quality on many surveillance cameras has greatly improved, giving police a better chance to track down the shooter. Maurice and Christine.
Thank you, Dick.
Now, Thompson's murder happened just blocks away from where thousands eventually gathered tonight for the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree lighting. And the NYPD is trying to reassure New Yorkers and everyone else, tourists alike, that Midtown is safe. There was a massive police presence near Rock Center tonight. NYPD deployed plainclothes officers, police dogs, and multiple drones. And with millions expected to visit the city over the next few weeks, NYPD says we all have a role to play when it comes to public safety.
Community, they do a great job for us being a force multiplier and being our eyes and ears. Okay, like we always say, if you see something, say something and do something. And some of the last couple of events we had in the city, they did do that. So they're our partners. We can't do this without them.
NYPD says it's also using strategic response units and intelligence assets as part of its security plan. Additional officers are also stationed in the subway. We'll have continuing coverage for you as the manhunt continues. We'll have it on the air and streaming on CBS News New York.
All right, so that's what it is, man, just so that you fully understand where we at. And let me just say this before I go any further, right? I just want to say this right here so you fully understand. I'm going to play my man so you know why we do what we do here at Unique Mecca Audio, because a lot of people don't understand why we do what we do. Now, this is one of the young brothers that we have reached and we have touched, and we honored of our success. All right, let me get him here.
Hey, what's going on, man? Murder Mook, Harlem, you know what it is, man. I just want to express how much gratitude I got for Unique, you know what I mean? I was telling him a story, telling him how I felt about, if anything was to go wrong with my career, rap-wise, if, should be slow, and I got so many opportunities to be able to do the wrong shit. When I watch Unique Mecca Audio, I feel it, and I, to my soul, and that's keeping me farthest away from doing anything criminal. Anything criminal. He made me think straight, honestly. Made me think straight. Because I've been watching him for about a year, a year now, mate. And it just took my mind way off of that. Way off of that. From a year ago, it got rough. For a year ago,
yeah.
And from watching this man, I just felt like you saved me. You saved me. And I just want to show my gratitude, and I want to say thank you, man. Unique Mecca Audio, anything you need, brother, from me.
All right.
Anything you need, man.
All right.
Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime. Mecca Audio, can of 26. He back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. An Instagram page and a YouTube you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops make an audio.